positively would change the picture of a school. My proposal was to research more about Challenge Day and how it better changes the school. I decided with this to paint a mural in the school that promotes the ideas of love, compassion, and like the anti-bullying movement. I wanted to use this project as well to prove that Challenge is a wise investment for the school to have, because when I first talked to my mentor, one of the first things I learned was that if it's funded by the school board and the district, so they pay for us to have it. So knowing that things, with the tight budget, I thought, with how I also wanted to be exposed to a larger scale of job. And when I designed them, I did it graphic design, so because that's what I wanted to do in college. So I designed it prior to painting it. And then I also wanted to leave something in the school, like upon graduating, so it would be there. So some of the problems I had, I initially was going to paint it directly in the school on a day, but I talked to Miss Brunette, and she was okay with that, but she said that, in the future, if they ever build a new school or renovate this one, then it would be gone. So she suggested that I do it on a canvas, which is what I did. Another problem was two of my mentors live in California, so I emailed with them and I called them, but calling is a little bit tricky because there's a 3-hour time difference, and sometimes they're like out of the country a lot doing their programs. So Challenge is a program that goes beyond traditional anti-bullying movement, builds empathy and ignites a movement of compassion for positive change in the school. Their mission is to provide youth and their communities with experiential workshops and programs that demonstrate the possibility of love and connection through diversity and full expression. So I talked to some of the people that work there. Sean, who was the leader that came to Mount Ararat to do our Challenge Day. I interviewed him, and he described it as something that's unity building. It helps you remember human connection, and he said it's more or less like empowerment. So it does happen, but then it's up to the school and the students there if it actually lasts. One of my mentors, I talked to, Rich, he said he was one of the people who created the program. He said he did it because he was bullied in school and he didn't want his kids to have to go through the same thing. So he created it as a program so that to hopefully try to start, to prevent more kids from being bullied. And it was the same thing with Yvonne, who's his wife, and the other co-founder. Rodrigo Torres is the IT manager of their office, and he described it as stepping out of your comfort zone. And they learned that people are more alike him than different. And he said it was an experience to hope that a school culture would reflect the best in people. So effectiveness at MTA, there was a survey conducted not this past year, but the year before, and it said that 71% of students at Mount Ararat, when they were at Challenge Day, they committed to not bullying or not judging other people. 95% of Mount Ararat students would highly recommend this program to their family and friends. And 90% of Mount Ararat students believe that the skills that they learned there, that they would be useful later on in their personal life. Then there was, on the bottom of the survey, there was a question that was like, how can we make the program better? And most people said you should keep it as it is because it was so great. And there was one response that said sophomores should participate instead of like a select 100, and this year that did some general stats that were just related to bullying. Every 7 minutes there's a child bullied on a playground somewhere, and 280,000 students are physically attacked in secondary schools each month. So as for effectiveness in other schools, these were just some statements that other people from other places said when they went there. Like there was one elementary principal stood in front of her entire 5th and 6th grade classes and stated, "I'm a 50-year-old woman and was kind of fat when I was in 5th grade. Every day I still look in the mirror and see that fat little girl. I feel so sad about it at the time. I've wasted worrying about how I looked, and it took a program like today to show me that if I had taken the energy and put it to good use, I could have been the first woman president of the United States. I hope none of you will forget this day." And there was another one of the stories I have heard throughout the past weeks from students who attended Challenge Day have been incredible. Students have reported that they've maintained friendships which began that day, and many have reported that they are no longer being bullied by others. Overall, I'm very pleased with Challenge Day and the impact it has had on our students and adults at this school. Thank you so much for helping to make Paradise Intermediate, which was the school this was at, a better place. It would not be possible without you. And this is a video. She's running for Congress, I think, in the district where my mentors live. And so she talked about it.
Michaela, you could just unplug it. If it's not the speakers, we could listen to it through the.
So often we despair, and for legitimate reasons, about the violence among our young people, violence in our society. And then every once in a while, you see the solutions. Every once in a while, you see the people and the projects that actually demonstrate what we can have instead, that actually demonstrate another way. And we all know that's what Challenge Day does. It gets to these children when they're young enough. It taps into the deepest resources of the truth of our hearts, and it paves the way for children to go that way, towards the ways of peace, towards the ways of relationship, towards the ways of tolerance, towards the ways of non-judgment, and towards the ways of real love. And yet it's important when we see those projects, when we see those people, that we support them, that we don't just say, "Oh, that's great," that we step up. That's the calling of this moment, that all of us step it up. We step it up not only within ourselves, but within our society, in the direction of the things that we know work. Through our dollars, not just through our words, but through our dollars, we can support the ability of more and more children in more and more schools throughout the United States being able to actually have the experience of Challenge Day. As we provide scholarships, as we provide opportunities for more and more children, more and more teachers, more and more schools to actually experience the benefits of a peaceful way, of a loving way. Because it's only love that's going to cast out fear, it's only peace that's going to cast out violence. So bravo to Challenge Day. Gratitude from all of us to Challenge Day, and to those fantastic people who make it happen. Thanks to you for being for all of us another way.
Okay, so actually painting the mirror, again, I wanted to do it because it was exposure to a large scale job. And then on the Challenge Day Facebook page, there were some other schools that just did it like because they wanted to, so I thought, oh, that would make a cool capstone. And I wanted to combine my love for art and while supporting a program that I strongly believe in. Those are some of the in-progress pictures like while I was doing it. And this is, I made a video of like the process when I actually did it. back and it's gonna go out front, like in between the two doors when you come in, but I ran into some problems with the groundskeepers and the custodians, so that didn't happen today, but it should be up there soon, so it's temporarily hanging right out there. That's my works cited. And then the other people that like helped me with it, Miss Copperthwaite helped me with the painting. Miss Stoll was my primary mentor where I got most of my information. And Miss Payne, my advisor, and my parents who suggested ideas here and there for it. I definitely don't think I could have done it without Rich and Yvonne, who were the founders of Challenge Day, and they took on a bunch of my requests to do it, and even the office staff there as well, because they responded to my emails. That's it.
Do you want it to go outside and
Yeah.
show everybody the painting?
Yeah.